Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ferndale City Council meeting for Monday, October 10th, 2011. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilmembers Baker. Here. Galloway.
Here.
Lennon. Here. Piana. Here. Mayor Coulter.
Here, yes, thank you. We have a quorum. Next item would be the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda this evening?
So moved, Your Honor.
Support.
Moved by Lennon, supported by Baker. Any discussion on the agenda? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmembers Baker. Yes. Galloway.
Yes.
Lennon.
Yes.
Piana. Yes. Mayor Coulter.
Yes, thank you. The agenda is adopted. Our next item is a presentation by the Ferndale Public Schools. Always glad to have our representative of the schools here to tell us what's going on. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Stilger. I'm the Communications Specialist for the Ferndale Public Schools. And first, I'd like to start off with a congratulations to the following Ferndale High School 2011 graduates on receiving recognition for their hard work and achievements on their advanced placement exams. Advanced placement classes are, for the most part, college courses taken during high school, and students have the opportunity to take exams at the end of them and can earn college credit if they do well on the exams. We have Dea Clausen, Elia Hohauser-Thatcher, Paige Flager, and GU are AP scholars, which means they receive scores of 3 or higher. The max score is 5 on 3 or more AP exams. Daniel Hicks, Christopher Melnick, and Kevin Melnick are scholars with honors, and they received an average score of 3.25 on all AP exams and scored a 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. And Jordan Haynes received an AP Scholar with Distinction Award, receiving an average score of 3.5 on all AP exams taken and scored a 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams, which is very impressive. So congratulations to all those graduates. On this Saturday, October 15th, is the All-District Fall Festival at John F. Kennedy School from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's a family-friendly event. There are games, inflatables, crafts, a haunted hallway, a boutique, all kinds of things for the family. Kids of all ages are welcome. Again, that's this Saturday, October 15th at John F. Kennedy School. The Eagles Pledge is a group of community members, parents, and administrators whose long-term goals includes providing every Ferndale High School graduate with a scholarship for post-secondary education. They are hosting their first event, first fundraiser, which is Saturday, October 22nd. They're presenting the University of Michigan Friars, which is an Elite 8 group from the Men's Glee Club. This is a poster. You might see this around town. With more details, but the performance is in the Ferndale High School Auditorium at 881 Pinecrest at 7:30 p.m. The opening act is the Ferndale High School Choirs. Tickets are $10 a person and can be purchased at the door, online at brownpapertickets.com, at the Kulik Center, the PR Rec Center, and any of our school offices. And all proceeds from the concert will go to supporting college scholarships for Ferndale High School graduates, so we encourage everyone to come. It'll be a fun family event. The Ferndale District Ambassadors are hosting their 3rd annual meet and greet on Saturday, October 29th at the Harding Administration Building. It's an opportunity for families with young children to come and learn more about our district from our school families. Representatives from each school will be on hand to share experiences and information about all the Ferndale schools. Our Superintendent Gary Meyer will also be in attendance to answer any questions from future school families. Again, that's Saturday, October 29th at the Harding Administration Building at 2920 Burdett from 10 a.m. till noon. I have one last announcement. The Ferndale High School Student Enterprise Theater presents their fall play, which is Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap, November 11th and 12th, and November 19th and 20th. Performances are at the Ferndale High School Auditorium, 881 Pinecrest. They are using 2 casts this year. One cast will perform the first weekend, one cast will perform the second weekend. And tickets can be purchased at the door. Adults are $6, students and seniors are $5, and children 12 and under are $4. Each week, the Ferndale School shares its news in our newsletters. It has news stories from the week, upcoming information, events, community events. And if anyone would like to receive it via email, you can email us at fpsfanout@ferndaleschools.org or visit us on Facebook or Twitter.
Wonderful.
For me.
Always great to see you. Any questions from council this evening? Thank you very much for the update. Appreciate it. All right, our next order of business would be call to audience. As you know, this is call to audience is a half hour now and more time later on the agenda if needed. Each speaker gets 3 minutes. Please state your name and your address or write it on the back sign-up sheet for our city clerk's records. Good evening.
Good evening, Council. My name is Trevor Johnson, and I am, for a few minutes here, going to represent the Environmental Sustainability Commission and deliver our green tip. And first, if you're interested in saving money this winter, the Ferndale Environmental Commission is going to have our Green Tuesday on October 11th. That is tomorrow from 6:30 to 8. Ferndale Library to learn more about how to winterize your house and to save money on electricity. Jacob Corviday of Detroit-based Warm Training Center will teach about no-cost and low-cost approaches to saving energy at home. Corviday will provide attendants with information on air sealing techniques and tools, insulation, furnace and water heater improvements, energy use behavior, shopping for efficiency, and inefficiencies in financing, and available for energy improvements. And the October Green Tip is insulating green spaces. As a young person who's actually searching to buy a home in Ferndale, I discovered that not every Ferndale home has a basement, where I've lived for 17 years. And some have crawl spaces. And it's really important to insulate these crawl spaces to get good energy efficiency, not only in the wintertime, but also in the summer. You want to provide a constant thermal barrier and stop the movement of moisture, heat/cold buildup from occurring in the crawl space. And this is kind of, it's not totally counter, but to some ventilation requirements that codes have, that we have in Ferndale code, but that's actually a good thing, so you don't get condensation building up. It gets really hot underneath there, really cold. Temperature difference on the outside would make condensation happening on the inside. We don't want water in there. That's a bad thing. It's important to keep heating costs down and moisture levels low to avoid fungal growth in any wood that's exposed down there. 18-inch R30 insulation between all the joists, held in place with insulation supports, and an 8 mil moisture barrier at least on the ground. It's not horrible if you have exposed ground in Michigan, but if you want to give that extra kick of insulation, the 6 mil black barrier will work really well. And seal up any holes to avoid hot and cold air from getting in with like the grate stuff or anything like that. And to be sure to meet all the venting requirements, because it is important to keep the air moving in and out so the temperature stays relatively constant. Now, to flip around, if I have 45 seconds, the Ferndale Farmers Market this Saturday is our last day for our summertime at 9 to 1 p.m. And I would love to have all you at council come out for one of our cooking demos at 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. Going to be using produce all from the market and showing you how you can make low-cost vegan, vegetarian, and or slightly delicious local meat meals. And all the produce is from the Grant Park Community Garden and our own Ferndale Farm, and you'll also have the sweet treats of Michigan kettle corn there. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Trevor, thank you very
Cheers.
much. Good evening, sir.
Hi, how are you today? Dennis Augustin, 1550 Spencer. I got my special assessment last Friday from the sidewalk deal. And I tried to get a hold of some people today, but nobody was around. But there's no tree limbs in my sidewalk flag, and they billed me on an extra $67 on this, from going from $96.50 for the flag, or slab, to $164.02. Now, I can tell you, I did talk to Matt Davis, I believe his name is. Yeah, I did talk to him and explain to him about this sidewalk section that was replaced. Because 13 years ago, the company that was doing the street repairs and stuff like that in the sidewalk replacement program, they had an employee that cut my gas line twice. So here's the flag, here's the hole. That's where the company was. and they dug all around in there, and the gas company went deep because they had to go underneath the street and that. There was no big tree limbs in there or anything like that. Now, anything the size of a shoelace or maybe thinner, I'm not paying no extra $67 for. Okay, and you know, like I said, I am going to meet with Matt Davis. This is going to be Wednesday morning, and we're going to go over this thing here and that. But I think it needs to be looked at, this company here, because I'm hearing some of my friends are getting billed the same way. Now, I was hoping they were going to show up here tonight for a little support, but I guess I'm the only one right now, unless some of these other people got the same complaint that I do. But I think it does need some attention here, because, I mean, you know, $67 is a lot. And when I looked at it, because, you know, you and I, we've had some discussion about me wanting to bring in some play sand and raising the slab up like that. Because all this guy did was took my slab that was this high and the other side there that was that low, and he dug down and he run it to less than about maybe 3 inches, and he run that slab at a slope, the one that he replaced. Now I've got a nice little pond for ducks. 13 years ago, that was why I had to pay for a replaced slab, was because there was water on my sidewalk. And I put two cement contractors in there, along with that tall, skinny engineer that we had at the time with the brown hair and glasses. I can't remember his name. I had him out there and that, and he assured me, oh, no, this is going to take care of the problem. 13 years later, that water still gathers there and it slowly runs off like it usually does. You know, and now, you know, instead of taking care of a problem, okay, because the city, what I understood sitting here in this room here, was that we're concerned about liability issues when it comes to lawsuits. The city was being sued. Well, I'm going to have a skating rink out front of my house now. I will. So I think this needs to be looked at, and I think they need to start questioning, somebody needs to question this company about how they're handling things. And like I said, I just wish some of these people that I talked to earlier would have showed up and given them a little moral support here.
Well, you're competing with the Tigers tonight. Maybe that's part of the problem. But I want to assure you, though.
Lions shortly.
Yeah, that's right. So if you are not satisfied after your meeting on Wednesday, please call April or Byron. You know Byron very well as well, because we want to make sure that you get satisfaction here. So let us know what happens Wednesday, okay, Dennis?
All right. Yep.
Thank you.
Wednesday morning. Thank you.
Good evening, Jeannie.
Hi, how are you? Jeannie Davis, President Ferndale Seniors, and I'm talking tonight about an event that's going to take place this Wednesday, October 12th at 11 a.m. at the Kulik Community Center. We seniors are hosting a meet and greet for all the people who are running for council as well as mayor. They're yourself, Mayor Coulter, Ray Willis, Sherry Wells, Dan Martin, and Mike Lennon. They'll all be there to meet and greet. They'll speak for maybe 5 minutes. The admission is free. And then immediately following this at 12:30 in the same room, the Chamber of Commerce is bringing in pizza, and they will have a forum with all of the candidates. And again, that's free. It's in the same place. So you've got kind of a double feature with the candidates. They're going to go from us warm, fuzzy seniors to to the realistic business types. So it should be an interesting afternoon at the community center. And I just want to stress, you don't have to be a senior. Just come ahead and come and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for putting that on as well, Jeannie. Appreciate it. Mr. Martin.
Good evening. My name is Dan Martin. I'm at 1447 West Hazelhurst, and I'm here tonight as chairperson of the Ferndale Community Foundation. This Wednesday, I'd like to invite everyone is our annual meeting at 6 p.m. at Valentine Vodka. This is our annual report out to the community, where we talk about what we've done over the past year, the grants that we've provided, and the projects that we've supported over the years. We have refreshments. Food provided by Dino's Lounge. So we want to thank Dean Bach and his staff for that, as well as the great venue at Valentine Vodka. So 6 p.m. this Wednesday, the 12th, and everyone is welcome. And the program should last no more than about an hour. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Dan. Anyone else for a call to audience this evening? All right, seeing none, we'll go on to the next item of business. Thanks, everybody. Next item is the consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered routine by City Council, and we enact these in one motion unless something is pulled from the consent agenda. I will start by reading the items on the consent agenda. Item A is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held September 26, 2011, and the special meetings held September 26, 2011, and September 28, 2011. B is the approval of a proclamation declaring November 20th, 2011 as the Transgender Day of Remembrance in the City of Ferndale, as submitted by the mayor. Item C is the approval of the easement for gas pipelines and authorization to execute the same by the mayor and the city clerk. D is the approval to adopt a resolution recognizing Families First, Inc. as a nonprofit organization operating in the city of Ferndale. E, approval to authorize the Recreation Department expenditures of $4,296 from the Smart Contingency Fund to offset the cost of the Smart Contract reduction for fiscal year 2011-2012. F, approval to authorize the city manager to hire a full-time human resources generalist and a part-time finance generalist to assist in payroll. G, approval to authorize the city manager to hire a project and grant coordinator for the city manager's office. H, approval for the Ferndale Public Library to serve alcohol during a fundraising event on Saturday, October 15, 2011, contingent upon the stipulations detailed in the attached resolution. And I, approval of the bills and payrolls as certified by the city manager and subject to the review of the Council Finance Committee. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Your Honor, I'd like to pull items F and G.
F and G. We'll move to the regular agenda. Any other items?
I would move that we adopt the consent agenda in its entirety with the exception of items G, F and G.
Support.
Moved by Galloway, supported by Baker. Any other discussion or comments on the consent agenda? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Council members Galloway,
Yes.
Lennon,
Yes.
Piana,
Yes.
Baker, Mayor Coulter.
Yes, thank you. The consent agenda is adopted. Now moving on to the regular agenda, item A, appointment of Anna Garrett to the Beautification Commission for a term ending 12/31/2012.
Your Honor, I move to appoint Anna Garrett to the Beautification Commission for a term ending December 31st, 2012.
Support.
Moved by Lennon, supported by Baker. Is there any discussion about that appointment? Anna, are you here? Nope, not with us today. All right. If no other discussion, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Council members Lennon,
Yes.
Piana,
Yes.
Baker, Galloway,
Yes.
and Mayor Coulter.
Yes, thank you. That appointment is approved. Next regular agenda item is the former consent agenda F, approval to authorize the city manager to hire a full-time human resources generalist and a part-time finance generalist to assist in payroll. I'll ask our city manager to introduce that item briefly.
This is one of two items on the agenda that's been part of the restructuring. The restructuring that has been taking place of City Hall. Actually, this started back almost a year ago, actually November of 2010. And I felt that after a year that it would be more prudent to bring it back in front of council. Over the course of the year, I think during the transition, excuse me, with leadership, it was decided to go ahead and put these positions on hold until a new city manager came on board. Excuse me. The HR position is two of the positions that are here before you tonight are part of an early retirement incentive program or an incentive program that those took that option back in November and actually had agreed to stay on until we hired these two positions. So these are actually two replacement positions. The human resources position is a little different than the current one. Right now, it's the person there is pretty much just payroll and healthcare benefits. This new HR generalist will do a little bit more. They'll take over the a lot of the HR functions such as workers' compensation, policy procedure, workers' compensation, things of that nature, as well as assistant payroll where needed, and we'll be supplementing with a part-time finance generalist to focus mostly on payroll. The second, I don't know if you want me to move into the second position as well. I can do that.
Yes.
Go ahead. The second position is a project and grant coordinator, which would take the place of the current executive secretary that will be leaving in the end of the year in December. Again, a little different than the position before. We'll focus much on project management, not only assisting the city manager's office, but other department heads as well with special projects, in particular grant administration, grant coordination, energy, technology, all of those big projects that don't necessarily fall within somebody's description. So there'll be a general support helping with citizen complaints and things of that nature, and just general assistance to City Hall. So those are the two positions, again, that are replacing those who are retiring.
Thank you. And Councilman Lennon, I'm sorry, I should have started by asking you why you pulled them, and if you had any particular questions.
I'm familiar with them.
Yeah.
I just wanted April to explain to the general public how and why we're spending their money. And I'm satisfied. I always have been. I just want people to know of it.
Appreciate it. Any questions of council on this item?
Just a comment. I think this is a really good direction that you're taking this position and really honing in on where the best need is to making progress in the restructuring process and giving support to department heads and staff. So I'm pretty excited for you to hire this position.
Thank you.
And just to be clear, these are budgeted positions. These are, even after our reductions, staff reductions and
Yes.
budget reductions, these had already been budgeted
That is correct.
for the next 2 years, frankly, because of our 2 years. So that's,
Correct.
these are not additional positions, just to be clear.
Yep, that is correct.
Councilwoman Baker.
My only question, and I should have thought to ask you this sooner, but in some of our conversations and touch base meetings, we talked about some of the proposals that our former city manager had made about an assistant city manager, and if I remember correctly, you thought that we could accomplish some of the same goals by incorporating some things into this HR position and then into this project manager position rather than having an assistant city manager position.
Well, it isn't, yeah.
Remember that correctly?
A little bit. It was more of an assistant to the city manager, but yes, between my human resources experience as well as bringing in somebody with more generalist and then the project coordinator coming on, it kind of does take away a little bit less expensive than the original proposals that were on the table. So it'll be a little cheaper, but still very effective.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any additional questions, comments? Madam Clerk, please call the roll on item F.
I think we need a motion.
I don't think there's a motion.
Oh,
I can make a motion.
that would be great.
I move to authorize the city manager to hire a project and grant coordinator for the city manager's office.
I think that's
Well, that would be G. We were actually
was
one
G?
before that.
I don't have my glasses.
Oh, all right.
I would move to authorize the city manager to hire a full-time human resources generalist and a part-time finance generalist to assist in payroll as submitted by the city manager.
Support. I know. Moved by Baker, supported by Piana. Any additional comments? Please call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Council members Piana.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Lennon.
Yes.
Mayor Coulter.
Yes, thank you. That item is adopted. And now, former item G, regular item C, now approval to authorize the city manager to hire a project and grant coordinator for the city manager's office. Any other discussion on that?
I would make that motion, or was it already?
Nope. It hasn't. We need to-
Support?
Moved by Baker, supported by Galloway. Further discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Council members Baker.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Lennon.
Yes.
Piana.
Yes.
Mayor Coulter.
Yes, thank you. That item is adopted. That concludes our regular agenda for this evening. That would bring us to call to council. And I guess I see the police chief back there. Anything for the good of the council this evening, chief? All right. I don't see our fire chief this evening. I do see our recreation director, Julie Hall. Anything you want to tell us tonight?
I just want to thank Mayor, Council, City Manager. As many people are aware, I did put in my resignation last week, leaving for a position at the University of Michigan in their business school. I've thoroughly enjoyed the city of Ferndale, absolutely love it, love the Kulik Center, the seniors, and so it was a very tough decision. But I do intend on coming back and enjoying the many special events that go on in Ferndale. But I really want to thank you for your support over the years. Despite the tough budget times, I feel that you've always had an open mind to the things that I wanted to do and try as far as being a little bit creative with our staffing. And So I appreciate that. It's been a great experience, and truly grateful for the friends I've made here. With that, we do have our Fall Festival coming up. So I'd like to invite, I am working out some of those special events we have. So any of you that are interested in being our guest costume contest judges, we do have a few spots available for that. So if you're interested, I'd like you to do that.
And when is the festival?
The festival is October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We do have stage with entertainment, our usual on Hilton, with a lot of different events, carnival games, magicians, things of that nature. So welcome everyone to come out, and you can find them.
Isn't it $5 this year?
It is, and we should have a Groupon special coming out too as well for those people that are on Groupon. And there's more information on our website at ferndalerecreation.org.
Let's talk about me volunteering. I'll call you tomorrow.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
please note you have at least one library board member in the room, so maybe you can recruit a library director or a library board member.
Thanks.
Well, Julie, what can we say? No department has absorbed the cuts that yours has over the last few years, and yet, your creativity and your outside-of-the-box thinking has been really instrumental in keeping our recreation programs going at all, and so we all owe you a great debt of gratitude. You did an awesome job for us. Thank you, and, obviously, best of luck in the future. Thank you so much. DPW, Byron Fertides, anything for the council this evening?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. I don't see Derek here this evening, so we'll go to the city clerk, Sherilyn Tallman.
Just wanted to announce that the cable department has been working with AT&T to get our council broadcast on UVerse. PEG programming is available on Channel 99 for UVerse customers, and we anticipate going live with that October 24th, our next meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you. You know what? Councilwoman Baker informed me, and I should know because I can see her, that our library director is here. Is there anything that you would like to share for the good of the audience?
You have a party coming up, maybe?
Oh my gosh, did we have a party?
Something about a prom or something?
That's wearing a dress.
Our fantastic 80s prom, the Friends of the Library, or I can project, so. 2 weeks ago. This Saturday at 8 o'clock at the library. We are having our 80s theme prom. We've got a lovely fashion example here. And tickets are $25 each. You can purchase them on ferndalefriends.org. And there's a discount if you buy your tickets and renew your Friends membership.
Yes.
And since, I can say this, we're all approved, there will be adult beverages. It is a 21 and up event. And we have secured everything we need to do to make that happen.
Yes, so we're all good. Yeah, so hopefully you'll come. It's going to be a great event, and it'll be from 8 to midnight. And yeah, so come.
And all the proceeds, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, and all the proceeds do go to the teen collection and teen programming, since it is 80s prom. But you don't have to wear prom attire, although it is encouraged. We just would like for you to come. It is going to be very much fun.
She's going to break dance.
Well, you look wonderful, so you've set the bar. Sounds like a really fun event. I hope everybody in the community takes advantage of it.
Yes,
Great.
hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our city manager, April McGrath, anything for the good of the group tonight?
Sure. Very briefly, as you know, we just heard that Julia is leaving us from the Recreation Department, and I am working with her and her staff to come up with a short-term and a long-term plan of how we're going to handle the changes within that department. While we're in the short term, Jill will be the acting, I'll make her the acting department head for that. Jill, is it Strickland? Stricker, thank you. Oh, she got married, that's right, Stricker. She will be handling the daily operations until we figure that out, and I will be bringing to council some options on how we can staff that so that we can keep levels where they are.
Thank you very much. Dan Chris, our city attorney this evening. Kate, City Mayor Pro Tem Kate Baker.
Sorry for passing you notes like that, but I knew
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Because the Friends of the Library were on the consent agenda, they didn't get a chance to come up at call to audience, and I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge the fantastic fashion statement. First, a thank you to everyone who came to the Fern Care Free Clinic grand opening this weekend. We had probably 100 people through the clinic to come for the ribbon cutting and then to see the space. We got wonderful feedback on just everything from the amazing dedication of the volunteers to the dignity of the space itself. It really is much more than just a doctor's office, and it is certainly much more than what you would imagine a free clinic would look like. So thank you very much to everyone who took a tour. If you haven't seen it yet, I know who has the key, so I could always, we could always arrange for another tour, because we really do want the community to know the outcome of what we've all been working so hard for the last 3.5 years. And Julie Hall, thank you so much for your tenacity, your professionalism, your friendship, and just sort of your wonderful mentoring of your team and your constituents. When Katie Hirschberger cornered me at the Fern Care Free Clinic opening, not only was she terribly sad that you were going, but she was very concerned about the continuity of programming at the Kulik Center, and I know that you will have it all worked out and that they will have nothing to worry about. So thank you. Even at the end of your time here, I know that you're looking to the future. It's what you've always done. And congratulations. Good luck.
That being said, you know she's watching the baseball game.
I think the mayor might be.
I think there might be some people at this.
No.
Not me.
I have no idea. Councilman Lennon.
I did have something, but, I do. I attended the Fern Care Clinic, and a wonderful Kate, there's so many volunteers, Kate, Ann Heller, I just admire, worship her. She's done so much, she's more energy. What else did I have? Julie, I wish you well. I'll see you Saturday, it'll be time for a hug then, okay? All right, and last but not least, I'd like to say happy birthday to my daughter. She's 25 today.
And that's it. All right, Councilwoman Piana.
Couple of things. My little bit of history of prom was probably filled with awkwardness and disappointment. And I am very, very happy to say that I received an offer to go to prom, and I'm really, really excited. Granted, I'm very biased. My husband asked me, but I'm hoping for a corsage, and I am wearing an 80s dress because it's in my basement. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So please come out and support our library and the teen services area that they're raising funds for. The next one is that I'd like you to know about an initiative called Transportation for Michigan. It is a coalition of nonprofits in the statewide nonprofit coalition. The Michigan Suburbs Alliance is part of it. But if you go to Trans4M, which TRANS, letter or number 4, m.org, you can see the campaign going forward. Governor Snyder is making an infrastructure announcement in October in a week or so, and a lot of the direction of our legislators is to continue funding for roads and bridges, which is necessary, but not actually looking at how to diversify funding for increasing transportation choices, pedestrian-friendly investments in our communities. And so you can go to Trans4M, Transportation for Michigan, and show your support that is investing in roads that let us walk and bike safely, investing in transport choices, coordinating regional transit service, giving our regions the option to pay for transit, investing in rail. And so you can go on to the Facebook page of Trans4 Michigan or to their website and show your support for this campaign as the governor prepares his big infrastructure speech of October. Since Ferndale has always been a big supporter of regional transit investment, and bicycle-friendly, this fits nicely with the values and the direction where Ferndale wants to go. So please demonstrate your support. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilman Galloway.
Not much this evening. Congratulations, Julie. We've really enjoyed working with you, and it's always great to see Ferndale alumni, I guess, going off to bigger and better things. So I look forward to hearing great things from Ann Arbor.
Great. I have just a couple of quick things. As you may know, a few weeks ago, I declared a state of emergency in Ferndale so that we might qualify for some state aid to assist us in our storm cleanup. We had significant expenses related to the last storm. We were denied that aid, unfortunately, as were the other communities in our area. We didn't qualify, but I think it was still worth doing. We'll have to absorb the costs ourselves, which will make a tight budget even tighter. We'll figure out a way to do that because we have a creative staff, but I'm disappointed that we did not qualify for those funds. Secondly, Councilwoman Piana and I last week were at the Michigan Municipal League Conference together, and we learned some really good stuff that we're anxious to share with the community, especially as it relates to long-term goals for moving our city forward. So preview of coming attractions, we'll be talking a lot more of that in the next few months. So that's all I have, and I would like to adjourn this meeting for this evening. Thank you.